This is the King and Doc podcast because it is Saturday night at 11 p.m. Pacific, midnight for me here in Denver, where I am broadcasting outside my normal location. It is me with my man King Hooley. What's up, Hooley? How you doing?
What's the word, baby boy, man? Hey, I've been on this Simply apple juice for the past 3 days. It's probably the best. It's no Martinelli's. It's
You
Simply,
got some?
Simply has the orange juice, has the lemonade, has the those other drinks like pink lemonade or whatever, and they're pretty good. Got the apple juice. I've been on a really big apple juice kick, so I tried the Simply apple juice, and it's
Well, let's be
fine.
real. When it comes to sparkling drinks that don't contain alcohol, Martinelli's is the bomb. You add a little alcohol to it, it's much better. I hope you got some alcohol in your Simply juice. My man Hooley, we missed a week, as we tend to do. This is a twice a month show at this point, but that's fine. That's just until Sirius comes in and pays us the big bucks. What the
Exactly,
fuck have you been up to, my man? How is life? How is
man.
King Hooley living?
Life has been fantastic, dude. I got some fantastic news. I shared with you earlier. I'm not gonna share it here, but I'm very excited about that. You know what I'm
Good
saying?
news is private news. Good news is
God,
private news,
God is
baby.
great. You know what I'm saying? God is great. So that's all. I'm gonna leave it at that. When you do good things come back to you. So I'm very very excited about that stuff.
And I
Um,
can vouch for the fact that you're a good person, so it all counts.
appreciate it. Let's see what else. My nephew Jonathan, he starts his college football career. Well, he had a scrimmage this past weekend. Shout out to him. It was his birthday on Wednesday. Just turned 18. We got a new dog. I didn't really want, but we got it anyway. Uh, we got it
Isn't that
anyway.
how it always goes?
Right. It's a puppy. It's a schnoodle. If you have ever seen it, but I'll drop a picture on our Instagram uh, of me and the pup. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Other than that, man, life's been pretty good, man. How about what's going on with you, bro?
Man, we the family is in Colorado. We are doing all the Colorado things. We took a train up into the mountains. We
Oh,
have
man.
done photography in the Sandstone Bluffs of New Mexico on the way here. Man, we went to Casa Bonita, which is a famous Denver restaurant, which was the central theme of a South Park episode where Cartman wanted sopapillas. Man, we've been having a good ass time, and that's why I am in Denver right now. I'm with family. This is the first time
Mm-hmm.
that we've had someone off location. You know what I'm saying? Because normally this is an LA Phoenix show.
Yeah,
Now this is an LA Denver show, and this is
LA
just the
Denver
first
show.
step in taking this thing worldwide, baby. This is how you
Hey,
do this.
exactly.
I'm just dropping little flyers with links to our podcast all around Denver. And the cops keep arresting me and they're like, that's littering. And I'm like, you don't understand me. You don't understand my grind. Would you
Right.
prefer I was selling crack, sir? And then they arrest me because they think I'm selling crack. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Whoa, whoa,
That's
whoa.
not what you meant.
That crack is not mine. Just hold on a minute.
How that happened?
I
Uh,
don't even know.
Hey, shout out to Keith. Keith, so definitely in the building. What's up, my boy? How's everything going with you, man? Thank you definitely for checking in. And
Number one fan, Treehouse, always around.
hey, that's what everyone is saying, man. Everyone is saying the dog is like it. We named him Kobe because it's a black schnoodle. You know what I mean? So and then we got it on Jonathan's 18th birthday, and I was like, he wanted to name it something out of Naruto. And I was like, no, it can't be. I said, you just turned 18. We switched that around. That's 81. Kobe hit 81 points. His name's got to be either Mamba or Kobe.
Is it 8 Kobe or 24 Kobe? That's the question.
Right now, he's 8 Kobe.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I think he has
So
a
we're going
return.
chronologically.
Yeah,
We're going chronologically. Okay. Oh, he's got to earn that. He's got to
Yeah,
earn 24. Okay.
He's got to earn 24. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
I can rock with that. We got to put our dogs to the test too, just like our children.
Exactly.
Deion Sanders has taught us rank your children. That's
go.
what we know.
All right, but we want to welcome everybody back to another
Salute.
episode of the King and Doc. Cheers, sir. King and Doc podcast. I am King Hooley. The homie, the Blood Doctor, is with me. We got a good show lined up for you guys. We'll talk
Always.
and then you know what I'm saying. That top 10. This top 10 is gonna be crazy. You know,
It's a good one.
It's a good one. In honor of college football, our top 10 is gonna be No, about college football. So
This is a
I
hater
think,
top 10. This is a
yeah.
hater top 10.
Yeah.
This
Oh
is
yeah.
a-
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah,
100%. 100%.
yeah, yeah.
100%. They're not gonna like it. They're not gonna like it at all. But it's
Nah.
cool though. It's cool.
And I'm
It's
with
cool.
that. I don't want anybody to like me. I want everyone to hate me.
There you go. But we're gonna
They
kick the
hate you
show
because they
off.
remember you.
We're gonna kick the show off with man, have you heard that Cracker Barrel is the logo and people are losing their ever loving mind, man. What's your take on that, dude?
Okay, here's my take on this. First of all, people should be angry about this, and not because of why they're angry, but because I'm fucking sick of slick, simple corporate logo design where we take every single logo that we have and we turn it into the most basic shit with clean lines, and we take away photography. Someone on Twitter or X or Instagram, I don't fucking know where, posted and they said Cracker Barrel got the Raptors treatment, and they showed the Raptors logo from the 90s and 2000s that had a fucking raptor. It had a raptor.
Yeah.
And now it's just literally the words Toronto Raptors with a basketball that has, claw marks on it. Listen, corporate minimalism design is bullshit and it ruins everything. And everyone should hate this logo change for that reason. Not because this is somehow woke. Like, listen, number one,
we didn't ask for this.
Well, conservative people don't even know what woke means. They don't even understand the term. They don't understand where it comes from. They don't understand that it's a term by the Black community to describe, literally exactly every single thing that conservatives do, honestly. But the point is, the idea that woke has something to do with the Cracker Barrel logo, like, we're so far off the reservation at this point. Like, what are we even doing? Like, where are we? Like, we're not even in culture wars anymore, because culture wars have like defined barriers of like, trans women aren't women, as they say. And I say trans women are women. Fuck those people who say otherwise. But the point is, how is the old man being taken off the Cracker Barrel logo a culture war? Like, what are we even fucking doing? Like, do conservatives just all want to have heart attacks? Is their whole thing, I want to be so angry about everything until I have a heart attack? That's the only thing I can think. Because I just this like, number one, the food at Cracker Barrel isn't even good. The only person in the world who likes Cracker Barrel is my mother-in-law, and she has the worst taste in the world. Love you, Beverly, but your food tastes as garbage.
I don't get it.
You tell me.
I've been to Cracker Barrel twice or maybe 3 times in my entire life, and like, first off, for people to say like it's a part of the woke agenda, like, we didn't ask for this. You know what I'm saying? No one felt offended by. I barely even recognized the dude sitting in the chair on the logo.
Nobody. Yeah, this is not tearing down a Confederate statue. Right. No one gives a shit.
No one gives a shit. Like, I'm not gonna get all upset and bent out of shape and risk a heart attack over some bland ass food. No, thank you.
Yeah. No, thank you. Listen, I think
those hotcakes are fantastic. I'm not gonna lie.
Let me put it to you this way.
But that's about it.
Let me put it to you this way. Some of the attacks on white people for our bland food tastes are nonsense, because of, like, you couldn't even put any spice food past me. I'll eat every pepper raw. I'll eat it all. So some takes I'm gonna say nah. But hold up. All of those takes are for people who eat at Cracker Barrel. You know what I'm saying? Like, for all of the she brought raisins in the potato salad to the cookout, or she brought unseasoned chicken to the cookout. All of those people are Cracker Barrel people. I just want to point that out.
I knew it.
That's all I'm saying.
I fucking knew it.
There's a Venn diagram of this is people not invited to the cookout and Cracker Barrel fans, and it's right here.
I knew there was a correlation, bro. It had to be a correlation.
100%. 100%, dog. 100%.
That's crazy. I mean, I just don't, people shouldn't be mad. I thought it was crazy. I thought it was funny that, the logo design is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I agree with you when you say, just the corporate America trying to be as clean as possible. I guess, I don't know, in an effort to not offend anyone. making these stupid ass decisions. So,
well, I mean, and I don't know how this is offensive to anybody. Here's the thing: my memory of Cracker Barrel, legitimately, truthfully, is that when I would go see my family in Alabama as a kid, I have a bunch of family in Alabama. You too, what up, Alabama family? We
what's up,
doing
Alabama?
King and Doc podcast. We're loved in Alabama. And on the road trips on the way there, as we would fly into like Nashville and drive to Alabama, and on the way there we would eat a Cracker Barrel. And it's like a Southern thing. And it was never it wasn't like only white people eat Cracker Barrel. Like there are plenty of Cracker Barrels that the whole staff is black. Like this is just dumb. This has nothing to do with race. This is stupid as shit. This isn't even like one of those things where like you're like, no, you don't understand. It's a fucking restaurant, dog. Like, what are we doing? Why is this news? Like the fact that we're even talking about this as our lead thing is so fucking dumb, but it just goes to represent how dumb and how big of a thing this has become. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't get it, man. It's a fucking restaurant that serves mediocre chicken fried steak. Who fucking cares? Like,
you said it right. Hey, but once again, those what's the cakes are great. Those hot cakes are fantastic. I love.
What's the real question though? Here's the question, man. I'm gonna ask you a question, and this is one of those things that we have not addressed on this show, and it's kind of a difficult thing, and I don't mean to offend you, and it might make us look at each other and make sure that we don't know each other anymore. But I have a real question: white gravy or brown gravy?
Oh fuck. It depends, though. It depends.
Like it does. It depends.
If I'm having chicken fried steak, then give me white gravy. But if I'm having like meatloaf or something like that, give me the brown gravy.
But I gotta be honest with you, I'm a brown gravy on chicken fried steak guy.
Really?
It's so fucking good. It's so fucking good. I'm not saying white gravy on chicken fried steak is bad. I'm just saying.
No. I'm just saying had brown gravy on chicken fried steak.
Let me put it to you this way: white gravy and brown gravy should both always be brought at any time. Whenever someone says gravy, I shouldn't have to choose.
Hey, all gravy.
I don't want to choose gravy. I want all the gravy.
All gravies matter.
All gravies matter. Oh man, listen, that's the kind of message I want to preach on this show. All gravies matter. Yeah. Normally it takes longer for me to say we're going to hell in this show, but like we got there in 13 minutes.
We got 13 minutes in, yeah. It's a new record.
But 13's appropriate. Hey,
13's appropriate. Yeah, so check it out. Donald Trump, the U.S. invests $8.9 billion into Intel. You okay over there?
Oh my God, I might choke. Listen, here's the thing. Let's just step back for a moment. Whatever you think of this situation, let's just acknowledge that a government investing in a corporation is an example of socialism. And they can't, these guys, communism and socialism ruins the world, and every single thing that they do is an example of corporate socialism every single time. Listen, my family, I have multiple people in my family who worked at Intel for a long time, and I would tell them two things. Number one, quit your job. Number two, invest all the money you have in Intel, because here's the two things. I wouldn't want to be around because Intel's going to implode, but over the next 6 months, every MAGA moron in the fucking world is going to buy this stock. So you might as well ride the wave of Intel is about America. And by the way, this all happened because Intel has a Chinese CEO. That's really the reason, is that Intel's CEO is Chinese. And so in order to prove to the United States that he's not a Chinese spy, they wanted them to sell 20% of Intel to the United. Now, again, depending on the method of purchase, you can't necessarily prevent the United States government from just buying 20% of a public company. If they want to, they can do whatever the hell they want. But this is just, this is hilarious. And by the way, this also proves that NVIDIA will be the dominant chip maker forever, because the idea that the U.S. government is going to be involved in Intel and make things better when they've already taken several. I could talk about this shit forever. I could talk about this shit forever because it's so fucking dumb. All of this is so dumb, man. Do you realize Nvidia is like the largest corporate chip maker in the world right now because they fell ass backwards into crypto mining? They built graphics cards for video games. That's what they did. And then a bunch of people were like, oh, we could use this to mine crypto. And now they're one of the largest companies in the world. They don't have strategy or foresight. They got fucking lucky. And now Intel is owned by, oh my God, we live in the dumbest timeline. I don't know. I don't know what to say. You tell me. I'm
not sure. I'm not exactly sure what to say behind this stuff, man. A lot of it, I try not to get too, too deep into it. I did a little research on this for the show, and it just seems very. It's giving that energy, like using the rent number, the rent money to play the numbers, hoping to hit. You know what I mean? And what happens if it implodes? You know what I'm saying? We invested all this money and then you lose it. What happens?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We are $37 trillion. We're $37 trillion in debt. It doesn't matter.
It don't matter.
It doesn't matter. Money isn't real. We're so the amount of money we're in debt could never be repaid. It doesn't. None of this shit matters. We live in the dumbest timeline.
People don't understand how much $1 trillion is.
Yeah, it's you can't even this is the thing is people are like, well, we're going to default on the national debt. No one cares. It's not. No one's going to stop loaning money to the United States. They'll just give it to us at higher interest rates that we'll make payments on forever. We're living. Do you know what? The United States deals with the national debt in the way that the New Orleans Saints deal with the salary cap. And that shit is true.
It's like we're just gonna roll this shit over.
We'll just kick the can over to next year, baby. We'll roll it down the road.
Down the road. Maybe
use some void years. Give Taysom Hill $140 million and pretend money. We'll figure it out next year, baby. And that's honestly.
Hey, I think they're probably banking on another Katrina.
Listen, there is someone out there right now who is a political accountant who like worked in sports. Is like, that's so fucking true. That's the truth. Someone would know that I am right, but this shit is dumb. And listen, I'm not even saying the U.S. government investing in Intel on the whole. That concept is not a bad idea.
No.
What this means is that the U.S. government believes they're going to control Intel because Trump just tells everyone what to do and they're a bitch and they back down and do it, and that's the nightmare. It's not a nightmare for the U.S. government to invest in Intel. It's a nightmare for Donald Trump to be like, you have to build in code so that China can't build code to attack us because China. And I can't even. I can't do a good Donald Trump impression, but I also hate the guy, so fuck him. I don't need to do a good impression of him.
He's been on the roll, man. He's militarized the police and deployed the National Guard into DC to help do something with the crime. Like, isn't that like the police's job, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I mean, that's fascism of the highest order. But let me ask you a question, and I asked this question to you legitimately. I'm not trolling. I'm not bullshitting you. I'm legitimately asking you. You are a person who served in the U.S. military,
right?
And I believe, and if I am wrong, dude, tell me I am wrong. But I believe that most people who serve in the U.S. military.
I lost you.
Oh, did we lose me? Am I back? Have I returned? Oh, no. Technical difficulties. Are we off the internet? Are we back on the internet? Do I need to return?
Yeah, I lost all of that.
I'm back.
The whole question.
Am I back? No, that's fine. No, I heard you say you couldn't hear me and I stopped talking. So it's all good. You served in the U.S. military, and correct me if I'm wrong. But I would like to believe that most people who served in the U.S. military would not undertake a coup and attack U.S. citizens. I just don't believe most of what is going on in these situations are they're like helping administrative arrests of ICE people, which is whatever. There's nothing you can do. But I don't believe that the U.S. military and its members would like in this day and age shoot American citizens over some bullshit. Am I wrong about that? Do I have a wrong read on the military? You serve. You tell me.
Nah. I would never do that. I don't think, and I think there's a lot of people that serve in our military, our great military, that would do that. Now, granted, there may be some people in there that, you know, follow that movement, you know what I'm saying, a little bit too much and be willing, you know, want to do that. And that's what, you know, saying the National Guard, you know, they're not quite regular Army, they're not reserves, they're just the National Guard. And a lot of those guys are just filled with people who are essentially civilians who take their time out, you know, 2 weekends a year, or, you know, say a weekend a month, or 2 weeks a year, to come and fulfill these obligations, if you will, that probably, you know, follow him in their normal civilian life and feel some sense of entitlement when they put that uniform on, and will go out there and try to feel like they're carrying out certain orders, and, you know, in his name or in his honor or whatever. There might be some people in there that probably would, but for the most part, no, I don't think there's anybody that would blatantly, deliberately like shoot into a crowd of American citizens.
And that's the thing, dude, is that like one thing coming out of 2020 that I found like that really stuck with me, honestly, was the number of military members who would point out that like police were carrying military weapons and engaging as if they were in a war zone, in ways that military members would never even do. And, you know, like holding assault rifles towards civilians and all these things. And I worry way more about police than I do military, is what I'm saying. And I'm not saying that all of this militarization is good. It's horrible. It's a trial run for martial law, all this bullshit. I understand all of that. But I'm just saying, like, I still worry more about like what cops are doing in this era than I worry about rollout of administrative bullshit. Like I honestly feel like he did this to cover up for the Epstein thing. Like, I really do.
At this point, everything's a cover up until those files actually get dropped. You know what I'm saying?
I think so.
This is definitely it's definitely like some show of force or some, you know, a dick measuring tool that Donald Trump is doing, like to against American citizens. You know what I'm saying? So he's deliberately going at certain cities, you know, big cities. He tried that shit over here with you know, in LA. What I think he's it seems like he's trying to provoke a situation to happen. And once it happens, blame the other side, and then like, hey, look, see, I told you this is why we're doing this in the first place, because they're acting like this, they're doing this. You know what I'm saying? So like, it to the eyes of people who follow him, who don't live there, who don't fucking see what's going on for real, who only use like the lens of the you know, from the media taking it in, they don't really understand. You know what I'm saying? The dynamics of what's going on, you know what I'm saying, in a particular city. So they're just sitting back and like, oh yeah, see, exactly. See, he's doing everything the right way. Or, you know, this is what needs to be done. It doesn't. What needs to be done is like, you need to better vet the people you hire to become police officers. You need to make sure they're trained thoroughly, and you need to, they have to go. I think they had to go through some form of psychological training, because grabbing your weapon at the, you know what I'm saying, and letting that be the end all be all ain't the move. You know what I'm saying? This is why we've been having these protests. This is why we've been having these certain situations. And just what people don't understand is like, you know, the police kill white people too. So like, you should be kind of scared about this shit too, if you don't get it. You know what I mean? So it's not just people acting. You know, it's something that they just need to do better, you know, a better job of. And that's you know, really vetting out the people they fucking hire.
Yeah, that's the honest to God truth. And I mean, you know, you had cases like New York City where they refused to hire a guy to be a detective because his IQ was too high,
Right.
and they thought he would be bored being a police officer. And it's like, when you're actively trying to hire stupid people, you
Yeah.
don't seem to understand what the job should be.
That's
And
basically what they're doing with ICE too. So like ICE is,
yeah,
in my opinion, ICE is just a bunch of hillbillies who couldn't get into the military, who were too fat to
facts.
who were too fat to try to do anything with the in law enforcement. Because I
In,
don't
in
even
the
think
wor-
those people either.
in the words of South Park, as
Yeah.
they said, ICE. Of all the jobs, it's a job to have. Like, nobody. Yeah, I would never respect anyone who works for ICE, and I don't think most Americans do either. I think even the crazy thing is, I think even Republicans, traditional, actual Republicans, think this shit is crazy. It's just maggots, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, my God, they're a very loud crowd.
It's a lot. It's a very loud crowd. There's a lot of them. And they're all stupid. And
Bastards.
it's like idiocracy, man. Idiocracy is becoming prophecy, bro. That's the weirdest thing.
We get closer every single day.
Every single
And
day.
honestly, if you look at some of the dumbass shit that goes on with LLMs that are incorrectly called AI, it kind of looks like Silicon Valley as well. So Mike Judge, he tells us the future.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Yo, college football is back, finally. Are you excited?
I've been gambling on college football all day. You tell me.
We're at week 0. I don't think there weren't too many, notable games. I caught. I don't even know who I caught.
I mean, the biggest game today was Iowa State and Kansas State, and it was
early game,
yeah, and it's Kansas State yet again blowing their chances of a great season early on against a team that is younger and less talented. And that's Iowa State, these are 2 decent quarterbacks, 2 dudes who probably be backups at the NFL level, but a really good game, a wet game in Ireland, a weird game, but just interesting how Kansas State is one of those teams that's mentioned a lot, gets put into a lot of early games early in the seasons, and they just kind of choke. It's kind of a Florida State thing, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Do you have a college team that you root for? Is it Arizona or something like that? Or
I root for Michigan.
Michigan. Okay.
Michigan. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Oh, what was something about those the sanctions that got handed down with Michigan?
I mean, I don't really give a shit at all. Like, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, baby. So, bring it on.
Yeah, word.
If you're not going to film signals and send people to watch games they're not supposed to and put on fake mustaches, you don't even really care about winning football games.
Yeah, did you see that shit? I think it's on Netflix. It's the untold story of old boy.
With Connor Stallions or whatever. Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, I mean,
hey, he had a point, but I like. Even the way he was like fucking Rain Man breaking all that shit down.
I don't even give a fuck. Like, cheating happens all over sports.
Yeah.
You get caught, you get penalized. What are you gonna do? I don't give a fuck. It makes the game better. It's a game, dude. It's a game, and cheating is part of the game. And listen, this is now the second team that I root for that's been part of a fucking filming scandal. And I'll tell you what, whatever. Red Sox got busted for Apple Watches. I don't give a fuck. The funny thing about the Apple Watch thing is the Red Sox got in trouble from that, but they stole it from the Yankees. So they stole the steal technology, and then they got caught using it. That was just funny. But hey, we still won a World Series, so whatever. I just think, it's sports, man. Come on, we're all trying to get a leg up. Cheating is scouting. Come on, like they're the same thing.
Cheating saved baseball, man. I think honestly. I think I texted you the other day. And I was like, the hottest takes, your hottest takes. I think they should induct the steroid era into the Hall of Fame.
Yup.
You ain't
gonna get disagreement from me. I'm on the same page.
It saved it. It saved baseball. So we're sitting here talking about
it. Name an era of baseball that people talk about that isn't like the 20s or Roger Maris or the steroid era. No one cares.
Okay.
The steroid era is one of the most important eras in the history of baseball. It's
Yes. Facts. Facts. But
dude,
getting back to
dude,
college football, right?
let's do it.
Getting back to college football. There you go. Look at this guy. Exactly. That means ball go bye bye. Ball go bye bye.
Let's, dude, yo, let's go yard, baby.
Yes, sir. So let's back to college football. What makes college football is the rivalries, right? And tonight we are going to count down our top 10 college football rivalries, according to the King of Doc podcast. If you're watching this, yes, you're going to get upset with some things that are on here, but it is what it is. I think I have number 10. So start at number 10. Number 10, I am going to go bring my notes up real quick. I'm going to go Florida State. Couple things. Because I did some research on this stuff. I looked some of the stuff up. It's nicknamed the Sunshine Showdown. The first meeting was November 22nd, 1958, with the Gators beating the Seminoles 21-7. They've played every year, since then up until 2020 due to COVID. Florida dominates the series, which includes a 9-game winning streak, which is the longest streak in that series. And the Gators, for the Gators, and a 49-0 win, which is the biggest margin of victory in 1979 until the legendary Bobby Bowden arrived in Tallahassee in 1976 and has made the series a bit more competitive. The rivalry intensified, rose to an intensified level in the 90s with two of the legendary coaches, Bobby Bowden, as I said before, and Coach Steve Spurrier for the Gators. I saw this stat and I had to double check, and it was crazy to me because both teams from 1990 to 1990, from 1990 to 2001, every meeting they the teams are ranked in the top 10. Both teams are ranked in the top 10, and of that, 6 times of those teams, the winner of that game go on to play for a national championship. It was 93, 95, 96, 98, 99, and 2000. Bunch of style power there. Of course, you had players like Deion Sanders go through there, Peter Warrick and Emmitt Smith, Heisman Trophy winners like Charlie Ward, Tim Tebow, and Coach Spurrier himself. Florida leads the overall series with 38 wins, 28 losses, and 2 ties, and holds the current streak at 1. They play later on this season. We'll see what they see how that goes.
I mean, that was impressive.
Thanks.
That was well researched. That was thoroughly documented.
Mm-hmm.
You had reasons and facts and logic. I'm very impressed.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that was very good. You did a good one with ChatGPT on that one. All right, let's go.
No,
to number 9.
I did not, sir. That was all. No ChatGPT used at all.
that was Hooli GPT. All right.
That was Hooli GPT.
Okay.
Hooli fingers.
Hooli fingers. Ooh. Number 9. It's not Florida versus Florida State. It's USC versus Notre Dame. And here's the thing. This is not a question of, recent rivalries, because if you look at USC and Notre Dame in recent years, it's not what it was. But this is a classic all-time rivalry between two teams that once fucking hated each other. And here's the thing. I would have loved to have put Michigan, Notre Dame in this slot, but, fuck Notre Dame, and I'm not even going to mention them in the same slide as Michigan because they bailed on that rivalry. And they don't even deserve to be mentioned there. So I'm just going to put them next to their other rival, USC. If you go back and watch, there are so many classic games that, featured these teams. I mean, don't forget, like, Joe Montana went to, Notre Dame. There are, dude, the number of legends that went to USC, I'm not even going to sit here and go list them all, like Hooli, who did all of that research himself, as we all know, is very true. The point is, this is one of the all-time great games that used to historically define the national championship race. Because the thing is, in college football, we all know that these days the playoffs are much better and we have better ranking systems and we're better able to organize who's good, who's not. But way back when, there would be certain games that sort of defined your season. And essentially, losing any game took you out of the national championship race. That's really how it used to go. And very often in the schedule, this game would determine the national championship hopes of two teams that were always powerhouses. And so while USC has sort of fallen by the wayside because Lincoln Riley can't fucking coach for shit, and Notre Dame just made it to a national championship but got absolutely curb stomped. Like, I hate Ohio, but it's always funny to watch Notre Dame get destroyed. And that's what happened when they played Alabama in the national championship a few years ago. Notre Dame is never that good. They're always overrated, but this was a classic game, and it's one of those things that deserves to be mentioned because it is something that historically was huge, even if these days it's not as much because this ranking was not about today. It's about all time. So that's where we get it.
No, right on. I got you. Good stuff. I did too much research. I did a lot. Okay.
No, you didn't do a lot. I pulled that script from ChatGPT. It was horrible. I'm never using ChatGPT again.
That's terrible. Stop doing that. That's terrible. All right. Let's say. Let me go. Let me reset this. There kick you out of here. Bam. Where we at? Number 8. We have Michigan State. It's the battle for the Paul Bunyan or / Governor of Michigan trophy. First meeting was October 12th, 1898, where Michigan beat the snot out of the Spartans 39-0. 44 of the first 50 games were played at Michigan's home field, and so they started alternating sites in 1958. The Spartans won 4 games in a row from 1934 to 1937, but then turned around and lost 12 straight. It's terrible. And that's not even their longest losing streak. Michigan's won 14 games straight from 1916 to 1929. I saw something like unbeaten that's really 18 games. I don't know how they figured that out, because I thought winning was the opposite of losing. I'm losing unless there's some ties or something like that popped in there. I'm not sure. But Michigan leads that series 74-38-5. The largest victory belongs to Michigan, where they defeated the Spartans in 1902 by a score of 109-0. Why the fuck show up? Why would you even show up to that?
Man, 109-0. That's what it's like when I play Madden online, but I'm on the other side of it. It's funny though, because again, and it's funny hearing you talk about Michigan, a team I like, and I really respect it. I didn't even know about that one. But it's funny because I left Michigan and Notre Dame off because I don't even consider that shit a rivalry, because Michigan ruined their shit every year. But Michigan State is a real rival. That shit is real. They fucked our shit up at times, and I fucking hate them for it. So.
Oh yeah, what was that? Was it 2015 to 2016? Like the punt that he met, he fumbled, he muffed the punt. And,
literally all we had to do was punt the ball, and we would have won the game. And we fumbled the punt, and Michigan State returned it. It was weird. Harbaugh couldn't beat Michigan State for the longest time, dude. The thing is, dude, he never wanted to come back to Michigan, and he wasn't quite ready for it. And the first few years, it just showed. And eventually he got his shit together, and now he's back in the NFL and whatever. But yeah, that was a good one. So number 7, let's talk about it. Texas A&M and Texas. And the thing is, this is a rivalry that's actually really close to me because it's a big part of my family are Texas A&M fans and other part Texas fans. But this is a rivalry that for a very long time really, especially in the 2000s, defined all of Texas football. And even though I may not love Texas as a political place, we have to all agree that Texas is sort of the home of football in the United States. And this rivalry was repeatedly at the absolute peak of the national championship race. And there were years that Oklahoma was in there as well, but some year, the Michael Crabtree year with Texas Tech, but there's always an incredible Texas A&M and Texas game. And the thing about these games too is that they always have a way to fuck each other's years up. And it's, one of those games where there's been so much star power and so much rivalry, and there are so many stars across all the years, from Johnny Manziel. Now we have Arch Manning. There's all the quarterback stars, Colt McCoy. Uh, there's there's literally a million stars in both these teams, and it's just one of those games that mattered so much historically. And it sucks kind of that Texas A&M has not been as good since moving to the SEC. They haven't really fulfilled the promise that one would hope for. And so in recent years, it hasn't been as much. And some people could argue that, I don't know, I'm so close to this that I view it in an outsized way, but there are so many seasons for both these teams that hinged on this game, and that outcome also affecting the national championship, that would just be really hard for me to leave this game out, because it's affected on a major level so many national championship seasons. And so that's how I came to Texas A&M in Texas.
Agreed, man. Agreed. That's definitely. I think it's. We probably could have done this one like as an underrated. Rivalries, man. Because that's actually a really good one. Like people sleep on Texas.
That's true. That's true. That one's probably underrated. That's fair. Yeah.
Definitely underrated. Number 6. Definitely not one of the ones that are underrated, but it is Georgia and Auburn. This is the Deep South's oldest rivalry, but not to be confused with the South's oldest rivalry, because that's between North Carolina and Virginia. But this one is the oldest one. Is the oldest by 8 months. This game was played on February. The first game was played February 1892. Excuse me. Auburn won the game 10-0 over Georgia. The other one, the South's oldest rivalry between North Carolina and Virginia, that took place like 8 months later over in October of the same year. The game is played almost every year since the beginning, but there was no rematch in 1893 and 1897. Georgia disbanded the team early because someone died on the field. That's crazy. Earlier in the season, so they didn't get a chance to play the game that season. In 1917 and 1918, of course, Georgia couldn't field the team because of World War I. 1943, Auburn couldn't field the team because of World War II. The first game was also allegedly where Auburn got his, his very famous war cry, War Eagle. I think I know this story, but I don't want to tell it because I might not be completely right. But this series is also boasted like many, a lot of memorable moments, including the prayer at Jordan Hare after the Bulldogs, led by Aaron Murray, were down by, I think, about 20 points. He led him back to a comeback and giving the ball back to Auburn, but ended up being like with Nick Marshall's Auburn's quarterback Nick Marshall pass on 4th and 18 for the Tigers' 26-yard line was tipped by by Georgia's safety Josh Harvey Clemens before landing in the hands of receiver Ricardo Lewis, as you see right here, and he ran that thing in for a touchdown, giving Auburn the lead with about like 20-something seconds left in the game. I remember that vividly. I remember that night vividly. I remember because I am an Auburn fan. I was very upset that we blew that lead. I was very upset that I thought we were going to lose that game because there was some national championship or even conference champs, even national championship implications were on the line at that point in time. It was a very, very surreal moment when you saw Ricardo Lewis like catch that pass. It had to be a miracle or had to be a prayer, but it was crazy. It was really crazy. I also went to jail that night. I
was not expecting that. I was
also went to jail that night. No, someone broke in. I was very happy about that. I was, coming. I celebrated a little bit, and I came home and found somebody broke into my apartment. So I called the police. Of course, and they came and they ran my shit, and I had some tickets, I had some warrants. You know what I'm saying? So for some traffic tickets, and your boy had to spend a few hours in the poke.
It's just like the police to arrest the person that called them when that person is a black man.
Like someone just Brown
Yep.
House, you gonna get me at this point? Oh, that's crazy.
Yo,
That's crazy.
listen. I'll tell you something. One time, you know what? I'm not even gonna. You know what? Let's just move on. We're gonna go. You know what? We're just gonna move on. I don't want to.
All right, let's
Let's
move
just
on.
number five. Number five. Let's do it. LSU, Alabama. And here's the thing: if you watch college football from like 2000, say 10 to 2014, and you watched a lot of LSU, Alabama, you probably wanted to kill yourself because that is some of the most boring, defensive focused, lame ass, horrendous football of all time. And it really was terrible. But look, as I've said many times, the Joe Burrow LSU team is the best college football team I've ever seen. I still believe that to this day. I don't think there's ever been any team as talented. I think they could beat any college team from any era, top to bottom. And I think that game from that year between Alabama and LSU, and it was Joe Burrow and Tua Tagovailoa going back and forth. I believe it was 48-41. That's one of the greatest college football games ever. You had two elite offenses and two elite defenses, and two of those elite defenses could not do shit. And, LSU kind of comes in and out of their dominance eras. Alabama has been dominant and great for a long time. It remains to be seen if that will continue now that Saban's gone. But there are so many seasons where Alabama and LSU decided which team was going to win the SEC and therefore would, represent the SEC in the national championship because there was always an SEC champion basically penciled in. And, just for all the years of having to watch Jordan Jefferson play quarterback for LSU and all this shit, like there were some truly, truly horrendous years. Shout out to Keith. You remember those fucking years of gambling on Alabama games versus LSU, wondering if either team might break 10 points. Like, there's a lot of games in this series that decide a lot of shit. And
there was that one year they I think they played they played in the national championship. I think it was 2012, 2011, 2012. Alabama LSU. It was a very low score, very defensive game. The one thing that stood out to me the most about that game was the fact that Alabama's defense did not let LSU cross the 50-yard line the whole game.
Here's my thing about LSU. They're such a good program that Jamarcus fucking Russell won a national championship.
Oh yeah.
So
LSU's always been around something, but like you did say they are hit and miss. Some days they're not, some years they're really dominant. Some years they're really, really good. That 2019 year, they were unreal. So much talent. You know what I'm saying? Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Joe Burrow.
That's the best college football team that ever played.
Chico,
I would put them up against any team ever. I literally, I remember watching that team.
Lights out offense with a stacked defense.
Yeah, I just remember watching that team being like, "This shit is just not real." Like they're, and like every single player on that roster is like in the NFL.
Right?
Like it's the same thing with we all make fun of Jameis Winston, but if you go back and look at the 2013 Florida State team, that whole fucking offense was in the NFL, like starting the next year. Like that's just crazy. Like. They're incredible championships, man. They really are. Anyway, number four.
USC and UCLA.
Yep.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Let me. Boom. There we go. USC and UCLA. The nickname, where we at? We're at. So many names for this thing. The Los Angeles City Championship, the Crosstown Showdown, the Battle for LA, or simply the Crosstown Rivalry. The first meeting took place on September 28th, 1928, with USC won 76-0. They followed that up with another beatdown the very next year, 52-0. Those first 2 years fucked up UCLA. to the point where they didn't even want to play these guys for 5 years. So they didn't have a game, so for the next 5 seasons, just so UCLA can get their shit together. The winner of the game is awarded the Victory Bell, and the bell was originally an old Southern Pacific Railroad locomotive. It was on that locomotive, and it was given to the UCLA student body by the UCLA Alumni Association in 1939. A USC organization called the Trojan Knights, which sounds like some Condors, stole the bell in 1941, and they hid the bell for the whole year, and it ended up turning up like in a USC, like a student magazine, and that sparked a prank war between the schools. USC leads the series 51-34-7. UCLA holds the longest streak between 1991 and 1998. Excuse me. The 1967 game was dubbed the game of the century, with a conference championship, a national championship, and a Heisman Trophy all on the line. Garrett Beban was the hopeful for the Bruins, where the infamous O.J. Simpson was the hopeful for the Trojans. The Trojans ended up winning that game 21-20, but Beban from UCLA took home the Heisman that year. O.J. took home the Heisman next year, the season after that. Bring you back in here.
Is OJ the best running back of all time?
Man,
I know I'm being an asshole by asking that question.
No,
he's a motherfucker. He's a piece of shit. But also, he might be the best running back of all time.
He could be. And say 2,000. Would he rush for 2,000 yards in a 14-game season?
I mean, one of my favorite.
He could be the best double murderer of all time too. You know what I mean?
One of my favorite memes is a dude. He posted his tweet, and it was like, that the parentheses were like reading about O.J. Simpson for the first time, and it was like, oh my god, are you serious? 156 yards per game, I mean, I'm just saying, if we're gonna mention, listen, I'm just saying, OJ was a killer on and off the field. That's all I'm saying. It's just both. That's all I'm saying.
That's it. He was on and
point it out.
He killed defenses and ex-wives.
Yeah, and he never beat the case, but he could beat the press. Actually, he did beat the case with his wife. Never mind, I'm wrong. That was a good joke, but I was way wrong. Never mind. I don't even know. I was just thinking because he then went to jail when he stole his own memorabilia.
Right.
Which
was 100% about the OJ case.
Oh man. Boy, again, we're going to hell on this show. All right, number three. Alabama and Georgia. And the reason this is here is because, this is basically deciding the national championship over like 5 times out of the last 15 years. Georgia and Alabama represent what you can do with all the money in the world being in, NIL and coaching, and none of it going to things that matter like education or teaching people how to not be racist. It's every single year at this point. These teams have so much money that their rosters are like NFL teams, and whatever, who gives a shit? Those are what the rules are. These fucking teams are so good, and we've seen so many incredible Georgia Alabama games over the last few years, and we're going to continue to see them. And whether or not Alabama can continue to be as good as they were without, they're not going to quite be the same team without Saban. I think the recruiting machine is still so good that they will not fall off. And if their current coach, if he can't, stick it, coaching at Washington is not the same thing as coaching about Alabama. And if he chokes, they'll find someone else that'll be really excited to coach Alabama, and they'll always have their pick of the best coaches because of what Nick Saban did. And Georgia at this point will always have their pick of recruits. These two teams they're always going to be at the top, and every year this game is basically what decides the SEC at this point now, and I mean, yeah, dude, some of the games in the last years have been fucking unbelievable. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah.
you know,
Ever since
it's
what
just
2017, they won in the national championship. They even like in that overtime with Tua hitting Devontae
dude.
Smith.
Dude, quick story. I was in Vegas for that game, okay?
Mm,
So I had money on over 45 and a half, right?
mm,
And at halftime, Georgia's up 20-0. So we're feeling pretty good because we got to figure that, at some point Alabama is going
mm,
to, get going. The problem
mm.
is, of course, they Jalen, Jalen won't throw the ball downfield, which is funny because Lincoln Riley fixed that shit at Oklahoma and now he's a Super Bowl champion. What are you going to do?
Mm.
But anyway, Tua, is dominating, gets Alabama back in the game. It's 20-20.
Mm.
Alabama's, about to kick the field goal and win the game 23-20. It's going to go under. I'm going to lose. So a ton of us had money on either Georgia to win or the over. And we're all walking away because we know that the game's over.
Mm.
And I'm standing at the end of the restroom waiting for a friend, guess who, Keith, to come out. And I'm watching the kick, which by the way was like a fucking 30-yarder. And he misses the kick,
Mm.
which is what sends the game into overtime. And I run to the bathroom and I said, he fucking missed it, thinking that I'm telling Keith, not realizing there's 100 other fucking dudes in the bathroom who just walked away. And so this flood of guys runs out. They're like, what? He missed it? So a flood of dudes run out of the bathroom back into the sports book. And Tua throws a touchdown in overtime. The game goes over. We win. But that is one of the most hilarious moments for me because I'm kind of drunk and high and not thinking, and I created a bathroom stampede. But what are you gonna do?
Oh man, I watched that game. I just got off work. I had me a couple, some, a couple beers, and I'm sitting there watching the rest of the games. I started watching it at work, and then finished by the time I got home. I'm like I said, I'm an Auburn fan. You know what I'm saying? I fucking hate Georgia and Alabama. The best outcome for that game would have been like for the Superdome to blow up. You know what I mean? For me, you know what I mean? So I really didn't care, but like I was really waiting for Alabama fans to. I guess if I lived in Georgia, I probably would like troll them more. Georgia fans more, but I was living in Alabama at the time, so I was ready to troll Alabama fans. And when that fucking, said the play before he threw the touchdown was a sack for a loss, for like a 16-yard loss. So it was 2nd and 26. He perfectly, man, I watched him fucking do it. I was like, oh, he looked off that safety, and he threw the ball. And perfect ball, and Devontae Smith ran right under it and caught it, said for a touchdown, and that was it. After
Tua was incredible.
After my initial shock, I had to go in there and start deleting posts because I was like, I had censored shit already. You know what I mean? So I had to go and delete some stuff. But it was crazy.
The funny thing was, I remember really judging Jalen Hart for that shit, and then I watched him in Oklahoma, and I was like, oh, dude, this guy's going to be good in the NFL. And now he's got a Super Bowl. I mean, it's funny how shit changes.
I feel bad for Jalen Hurts because, like, a lot of Alabama, it's a big reason I don't like Alabama fans is like they're fucking two-faced. You know what I'm saying? Because like when he was doing great towards the beginning of the season, had him like undefeated, had him doing well. He was great. He was good. He was this thing. He started doing other things. Oh, he can't throw the ball down the field, and he's not going to do this. And he turns away. He just thinks to run first, and blah blah blah. You see that change, and then he announced he's gonna. He came back. Was it the next year? And I think he took over for Tua because Tua struggled in that SEC championship against Georgia. Again against Georgia, in the next SEC championship, and led Alabama to that win. And all of a sudden, they started jumping back on his nuts. I was like, "No, fuck y'all! Remember that shit you guys were talking shit about?" Anyway, this is going to bring me perfectly into
number two.
Number two for me, and I think number two and number one both easily interchangeable. I feel like if if I had the odds, I'm sorry, the odds. This would be number one. But it's the Iron Bowl, Alabama versus Auburn. I have a couple notes, but I'm gonna share some experiences with you guys too. It's known as the Iron Bowl because it was played in Birmingham for many years. Birmingham at that point in time was like the leading the leading industrial city in the South, which produced a lot of iron. So hence the Iron Bowl. The first game was played on February 22nd, 1893, when the Tigers beat the Crimson Tide 32 to 22. The rivalry has been so many notable games: run in the mud, punt, Bama pant, punt, bow over the top, the can back overtime, 4th and 31, which I don't like. You know what I'm saying? Which would have to be a good play. Milrow hit was it Isaiah Bond, I believe it was, in the corner of the end zone on 4th and fucking 31. But all we had to do was knock the ball down. We won the game. But anyway, and of course, my favorite, the kick six. Alabama leads the series 51 to 37 and 1. Of an NFL fan. So college football wasn't everything. At that point in time, like the Miami Hurricanes was my favorite team because a lot of Giants players came from Miami at that point. But this game it does something to that state of Alabama. There's no professional team in the state, but they look at Alabama and Auburn like all the time. So like college football season for everybody else is from August until January. Is from August until July in the state of Alabama, and it's all about said Alabama and Auburn. Anywhere you go, you're gonna hear War. You're gonna hear Roll Tide all year long. They don't wait. There's no nothing. It's even like affected to the point where they've discovered other sports to cheer for their school. Like I've noticed a lot of Alabama fans, football fans, have become Alabama softball fans, and a lot of Auburn fans have become a lot of. Apparently, Auburn has an equestrian team, so a lot of Auburn fans are rooting for the equestrian team. It gets that fucking deep, Saying that the basketball thing started to come up, and and it started to take a center stage towards it. But it's always going to be about football, man. This state literally shuts down that weekend. There's nothing going on. If you can't, if you're going to try to go into a restaurant, good luck. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to try to have parties, you better get to Walmart as soon as you can, like as soon as those doors open, because it's going to be packed. So many people are going to be trying to grab all the food, grab everything party. It's a party, but it's it sucks because it gets it can get very violent. I've heard, I've seen fights break out of it. I've heard some of the horror stories, like after the fact, Alabama loses, domestic violence, like rate shoots up. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. I honestly don't see how Michigan or Ohio State is better than this, but it could be. But that, so this one is the Iron Bowl. Number 2 on this list, but definitely number 1 to a lot of people.
I'm sorry, did you just tip my number 1 pick without giving me the opportunity to do it and introduce it?
I mean, it's obvious. It's obvious. It's obvious what number 1 it has to be.
Okay, cool. Well, here, then allow me to inhale this oxygen and tell you why you're wrong and why Michigan and Ohio is the best of all time. All right, let's go and show it to me, son. Number 1, and let me explain to you. There is one game in the football season that exemplifies football, that exemplifies 2 groups of people that fucking hate each other. And I'm not talking about via some sort of random crime statistic because we have the most low IQ people that got drunk outside the stadium. No. I'm talking about visceral, lifelong fucking hatreds that include ending friendships and not hiring people who rooted for the wrong team. Michigan and the other team, I'm not even going to say their fucking name, is the rivalry in college football. It is literally referred to as the rivalry. This is the fucking game. Every single year, the television schedule revolves around this game. And the SEC did a good job of co-opting that for a few years with some good work, whatever. Congratulations. But Jalen Milroe running right into Michigan's defensive line and ending Saban's career with a loss to Michigan. Well, it was like the most wonderful power transfer back to where the actual superiority of college football lies, and that is in the Big Ten with these two teams. And here's my favorite part about this is that even though that red and silver ugly team are currently the national champions, it's only of 49 states. Because who did they lose to last year? They lost to one team. And I don't give a shit that we were 6-6 or whatever the fuck. We beat those motherfuckers. And all of their seniors, their fifth-year seniors, who had been there since COVID and gone through all this and had been dying to beat Michigan, didn't get a chance because they fucking lost to us yet again. We dominate the series all the time. And yes, they had their little wonderful period through the 2010s when they had Urban Meyer, who loves to hump young women in bars that aren't his wife on camera. Congratulations for you guys that those are your championship, whatever. This is the greatest game. Go look at the NFL and see the number of players that participate in this game that are currently affecting high-level NFL games. You're going to find them all over the place. The greatest fucking quarterback of all time played quarterback at Michigan. There's no doubt that the Iron Bowl between Alabama and Auburn is one of the greatest games of every single calendar. It's absolutely true. My family are a mix of Auburn and Alabama fans. And I 100% respect that game. And it is absolutely a cornerstone of the college football calendar. But this game, literally every single year, is going to decide a major piece of the national championship. Because regardless of if both teams are at the top, one of them is always going to be right there. And you can't say that for basically any other program, any other rivalry. These two teams are literally always fucking there. And that's where we are. And my favorite thing in the world will be that when again, that scarlet and gray bitch ass team got back to the top, they still lost to us. And it was after we won.
Hey, what do you think about the flag planting thing?
I think I mean, that was the dumbest shit ever that they tried to act like. I think it's hilarious that we did it, and I think it was dumb as shit that they tried to act like they were somehow above that and that they would never do that. They do shit like that all the time.
All the time.
You're not going to plant your flag in our stadium. That's disrespectful. That's fuck you. Fuck you. Yeah, dude, listen, that school has the attitude of entitled white people. That's how they behave. It's a Republican school full of Republican douchebags, and they act like entitled white people. And Michigan is better in every way because Michigan is a diverse school from a diverse state that actually does things like study law and science and not just have sex with their sisters in whatever fucking trailer they can come up with, which is what goes on in Ohio. Fuck Ohio. So that's it.
Hey, and you said like it's just hate, man. Okay, that's just hate, but like
it's hate.
I said people have died over the Iron Bowl.
Yeah, but that's stupidity. There's a difference between stupidity and hatred. I'm not. Listen, I agree with you that everyone in Alabama is dumber than everyone in Michigan. I'm not trying to argue that point with you. You're 100% correct. I'm just saying that the bigger college football rivalry exists up north. But you are correct that there's a significantly dumber.
It's interchangeable, bro. In my opinion, it's interchangeable. I mean, like I enjoy the Michigan Ohio State rivalry. I've watched it every year because it is the game to watch.
Listen, from a joke, all joking aside, all fan bias aside, but all joking and fan bias aside, I actually believe those are probably the two most significant games every year historically. Because like if you look at Florida State, LSU, Georgia, those teams are very good in waves over
Yeah.
different times.
Oh, yeah.
Auburn and Alabama, Michigan, and again, the other team, I'm not going to say their name.
Honestly,
Those teams are pretty traditionally good every single year. There is a difference. I actually do agree with you. I just can't take any opportunity to not say that I hate those fuckers from Ohio. So
right.
I'm a hater. I'm a certified hater.
You should
certified
be. You
hater
should
boy.
Be. You should.
Absolutely. That's
hey,
my
what are we
album,
missing? What are we missing that countdown? Navy and Army Navy game is obviously saying it's up there.
Yeah. And I know this one won't mean a lot to a lot of people, but Arizona and Arizona State, I know they're not really great programs.
Yeah.
I know Arizona State made it to the Final Four last year. They had the year U of A was supposed to have after U of A had a great year the year before, but the territorial cup between Arizona and Arizona State has been going on since 1899. It's one of the longest historical rivalries. So again, not quite good enough to make this list, but still a pretty historical, cool ass rivalry. Army Navy, you're right. The Army Navy game is one of the great games every year. There's a lot of great ones. It's hard to you're not going to be able to get every single one.
Texas is another one. The
Red River,
Virginia, North Carolina is another big rivalry that happens. So we miss a few.
West Virginia, Louisville has been a huge game in a lot of different years. So it's hard to. It's hard to get every single team. You're gonna have people at South Carolina like, what about us? It's what it is, man.
But what about you, South Carolina? What about you? What about you? All right.
Yeah, we hate South Carolina on this show.
Yeah, fuck South Carolina.
I'm a
fuck up.
Nah.
Hey, what about Purdue? Hey, relax. Who are their rivals? Like, no one fucking cares.
Mrs. Blood Doctor loves South Carolina, so I'm about to be in trouble for that one. But that's my own fault for making a joke. I hate Kentucky, Tennessee, Iowa, a bunch of other ones. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, hey, great show, man. Great show.
Good show, baby.
Good show. Hell yeah.
We're gonna see you next week. What's up on Truth Be Told?
We're coming back. We're introducing the new segment. Introducing a new segment. I think
new segments are wrong.
I hit you up with the saying the hottest takes, and we're gonna make that like in a new segment over there. So I'm very excited about it. Very, very excited about it. So basically, basically what we're gonna do is take everybody's hot takes that we've gathered, and we're gonna tell you the truth about your hot take.
I like the sound of that.
I think that sounds like pretty good. What's going on with you, man? How's everything? Blunt Doctor.
Oh man, one of these days I'm gonna finish my 77-hour episode when I finish classes and school and work. I haven't posted an episode in forever because I'm focused on this project, which is King Project. But
let's go. Let's go.
One of these days, maybe. Next Saturday we'll be back. Let's see you.
Hell yeah.
11 p.m.
That's right. Next Saturday, 11 p.m. You can check us out on YouTube. Shout out to the Elite Sports and Entertainment Network. Like I said, check us out on YouTube. Drop a like and shit. Subscribe on there. Follow us on TikTok. What else are we on? TikTok and that's it, right? Oh, Instagram. Yeah. Follow us and like
it's time for some new TikTok posts.
So
you're right about that. New TikTok time.
We're gonna come back with some brand new episodes for you guys pretty soon. Once we figure everything out, everything's gonna be great. Like I love this shit over here, man. Saturday nights is your home for debauchery from now on. 11 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. Check us out, the King and Doc podcast. You got anything else, brother?
Nothing, man. I appreciate you. Let's do it next week.
Rest in peace. It is 12. It's currently 12:14 a.m. over here. Rest in peace to Kobe Bryant, who would have been 47 today. We will check you out.
That's just a bummer, man. Never right. Peace out.